Hey, Bama Nation, what's up? Let's get it poppin'. On a Wednesday, hottest show on the streets here, number one forum for Bama. Football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Now, normally on today, we would be in studio, but with the weather, raining outside, crazy, everybody be safe out there traveling on the road. We got another one coming to you from the home location. On Friday, we're hoping now Friday we'll be back in studios in the Birmingham area, but with the rain, with the weather, we're coming to you from the home location this evening. But anyway, you go ahead and you hop in the comment section tonight. We're taking your comments here, people. We want everybody smashing the like button, smashing that subscribe button, getting all of your friends, your family, your diehard Bama fans, casual Bama fans, consumers of Tide football to subscribe and like the channel as well as we're pouring to you the content. So hop in the comment section tonight, taking your comments. The daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. Fall camp is next week. Next week, we're back out there on the practice field, seeing the pads pop, seeing the football being thrown around, seeing the coaching staff, seeing the players. Fall camp returns next week, people. Really excited, really pumped up about being back out there on the field with your Crimson Tide. We got a lot to get to here on tonight's show. But first and foremost here, we're going to open it up to your comments. So right now, we got my man Jay Lee in the building. Jay Lee with the RTR. Appreciate you, Jay Lee. First one hopping in here. Lee also writes back in, hope all is well, Steve, and let's have a great show. Good show. That's what I intend to do. I intend to have a good show with every last one of you. Happy to have you guys in here. My man DP Don Parker. Roll Tide, everyone. Appreciate you in here, Don Parker. Absolutely. We got my man Jay Lee again at work grinding, unfortunately. But Jay, you are still listening to the show. Even though you at work, you putting in that grind, you are still listening to the show. So we appreciate that. Mimi S with the Roll Tide. How we feeling, Mimi? Happy to have you in here. Checking out the show. We got my man Joseph Higginbottom. Roll Tide, roll. Let's go, Bama. Let's go. Fall camp next week. Everybody pumped up to get back here on this practice field. Let's see here. We got Crimson Bass writing in. I can't wait to see Justice Haynes in this offense. He is RB1 for your Crimson Tide. Although I see, a dynamic duo with Justice Haynes and Jam Miller. I mean, you got to throw in Richard Young as well. I think he's going to get quite the amount of opportunities here in the upcoming season. We got my man from Davis with Roll Tide to everyone everywhere. Appreciate you from. We got Heath White with a Roll Tide roll. Let's get you on the screen there. Here we go. Heath White with the Roll Tide roll. Appreciate you, Heath. And we got Cedric Thompson giving us that length, baby. That length there, Cedric Thomas. Giving us that length there. We appreciate you, Cedric. We got Roll Tide and Rise Up with the Roll Tide family. Appreciate Roll Tide and Rise Up there. We got Aaron McGuire with the Roll Tide roll. Thanks to Aaron McGuire dropping in here. Don Parker comes back with, we get pads popping next week, almost that time. Yes, it is. Fall camp next week. Tuscaloosa, Alabama football. It's upon us right now. We got one LeVar 22. Let's go. And RTR, Roll Tide to you. One LeVar 22. Absolutely. We got my man King. We got Yah Warrior in here with the Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Yah Warrior, helping us out right here. We got Ant for Barbecue with the Roll Tide. Let's see here. Jay Lee writes in, is Devontae Smith healthy? Devontae Smith, the defensive back, he is healthy. He was a bit banged up in spring practice, but he is healthy. He is good to go for fall camp. And Smitty would have been a starter last year in the secondary if not for a foot injury in fall camp, of course. we saw where, Jalen Key filled in for him there. But Smitty's back. He's back. He's healthy. He's set to go here for next week. But Denzel Rambo writes in, can we get over King of Downs? He's not Minka. He's not Minka. Now, Denzel, I'm right there with you. Can we move forward from that, right? I know a lot of people look at, why did Downs leave? That was betrayal. Why did Downs go? We could have used Downs. Hey, best wishes to him at Ohio State. But right now, you're looking at the guys that are on this roster, and I'm excited about the guys that are on this roster. Carla Saint writes in with the Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate you, Carla. We got D Money with the Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate you, D. One on the bar, 22. Devontae Smith is about to shock the SEC. He's a legit defensive back. Big-time defensive back here. And keep in mind, he did return the latter portion of the 2023 season, helping Alabama to defeating Georgia in the SEC title game. So he did make a late return to the 2023 campaign. J-Dog67 writes in, I'm over Downs. We got Red Morgan. That freshman is going to be a stud, okay? All throughout spring ball, everybody kept talking about Red Morgan. He's going to be a star. Now, it comes down to at what point does he get there on the field? But I think Red is going to be a star. Naomi's back in here. Roll Tide, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, Naomi. Happy to have you back in here. Don Parker, I'm not going to disrespect King of Downs. He's a great player and made, hopefully, a business decision. I wish him but success. Nothing but the Tide, though. So, hey, there's Don's reaction. Not disrespecting King of Downs, but you move forward here with the Tide. Damon Davis writes in, Bama Nation, what's good? Hey, happy to be here, Damon. Happy to have you in here as well. We got my man Henry Hubbard with that $2 donation. Henry Hubbard helping us out here on the show. Appreciate you, Henry. Absolutely. Mimi S. writes in, Stephen, how confident are you in our defense for the season? Very confident in this defense. Confident in the coordinator, Kane Womack, because he wants to create turnovers. And he talked about that in a recent podcast he was on. He mentioned, hey, sacks are cool, pass breakups are cool, quarterback hurries are cool, but I want turnovers. I want to take the ball away from the opposition every single time this defense is out here on the field. So I'm confident in the coordinator. I'm confident in the guys that we have at every single position. My thing is always the execution, right? That's my thing, the execution. Can these guys get out here and execute what they're doing? If they're doing that, then this is going to be a defense that should be very strong in this upcoming season. Let's see here. We got Jay Lee writes back in, we'll meet Ohio State in the playoffs. There you go. Jay Lee, we will meet Ohio State, meet King of Downs in the playoff there. There you go. Bama, we got Damon Davis. Bama boy writes in, hey, Stephen, I'm patient with Coach DeBoer. If he goes 9-3, we have to remember Saban went 7-6 his first year. Trust the process with a lot of fire emojis. Look, in a 12-team playoff, you can go 11-1, you can go 10-2, you could possibly go 9-3 and get a playoff spot here. But once again, DeBoer is not one to sit there and say, we're trying to lose. No, the DeBoer is one that understands, hey, there's little to no room for error. We want to win every game. We want to focus on every opponent that we're playing. We want to take everybody seriously. So that's definitely Kagan DeBoer. But if there was a situation where you go 11-1, you go 10-2, you possibly even go 9-3, you're not completely out of the playoff picture is what I'm saying. But appreciate all of you guys getting your thoughts in here to start the show here. We're gonna dive into topic number one of the conversation, folks. And this is on. We're in a series here at TDA, getting you guys ready for fall camp. We're in a series breaking down position groups, breaking down players, highlighting which guys, whether they be first-year guys, second-year guys, what have you, that are going to provide the type of impact that Alabama needs to have in trying to win a national championship. So here, we're going to look at transfers. Guys that Alabama got from the transfer portal that will make the biggest impact in the coming fall. So, number one for me, I got to go Parker Brailsford, the transfer offensive lineman, center from Washington. I think he's going to make a monster impact. And for the number one obvious reason, he snaps the ball very well, okay? After what we saw a season ago, Parker Brailsford is going to come in here and snap the ball right. So that already solves over half the issue right there. He's going to come in here. He's already in here, snapping the ball consistently well. Number two, Brailsford's got experience playing center. Played 15 games last year as a freshman at Washington, 13 of those at center. Anchored an offensive line that won the Joe Moore Award this past year, which goes to the nation's top offensive unit in the country. Brailsford at 6'2", 275 pounds. He's athletic. He's big. He can move. He can get up to the second level in terms of run blocking. He can pass protect. He helped Michael Penix Jr. be a two-time 4,000-yard quarterback. Had Washington playing in a national championship game this past year. Had Washington winning a Pac-12 championship a season ago. Fully knows the offensive philosophy of Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan. So Parker Brailsford and the communication where he's concerned, getting every offensive lineman on the same page. He is good with that. We're looking at a first-team All-American a season ago, a second-team All-Pac-12 selection. So Parker Brailsford, I have him number one transfer that's going to have a major impact here on this team. And he's going to have this offensive line elite here from start to finish. Very excited of what Brailsford is going to bring to the table. Number two, I look at wide receiver Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy's going to have a major impact. And I go back to SEC Media Days in Dallas, Texas. Malachi Moore compared Jerm to John Mechie. And that was a very good comparison because all of the things that Mechie did well at Alabama, Jerm can do well at Alabama. Routes, hands, good speed, blocking ability, dependability, can move the chains, knows his offense of DeBoer, Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard. Jerm is going to be a big factor. He's going to be a factor here in this wide receiver room, primarily as a starter. Jerm, 34 catches last year at Washington, 419 yards, 2 touchdowns. A guy that had 3 catches for 122 yards in the spring game. So we got a taste on A-Day of how good Bernard can be, of how good he is, but more importantly, how good he can be in this offensive system. So Jerm is number 2. Number 3, defensively, I'm going to go Keon Saab here. You got 2 guys in your defensive secondary, both at safety, with national championship experience. Malachi Moore, from the Alabama perspective, the 2020 campaign, his freshman year. Keon Saab, from Michigan's perspective, this past season. Saab, a season ago, 28 tackles, 5 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. One of those returned for touchdown. The New Jersey native, he knows what it takes to win a championship. And to have him in here with Malachi Moore, they both played off each other extremely well in spring practice. Saab is going to play a major role in the secondary as a transfer. So he would be number 3. Number 4, let's go Damani Jackson at corner. I think Damani, 2 years at USC, 28 tackles in those 2 years, 4 pass breakups across 18 games. I've mentioned this before. Didn't have the best coaching at USC. He comes to Alabama where he's got Kane Womack. He's got Maurice Linguist. So much better coaching at 6'1", 190 pounds from modern day high school in California. You talk about the length, the athleticism, the coverage skills, the ball skills, the instincts. He's got it all as a player. Just has to put it out in the field. But he's got it all there as a player. So Damani Jackson, I'm looking at him to take one of these 2 corner spots as a transfer. And then last but not least here, the kicker, Graham Nicholson. He's going to be an impact guy. And what better way? I mean, the only guy that could get the Lou Groza Award from Will Reichert, though Will deserved it, from Will Reichert, is a guy that's currently now at Alabama, and Graham Nicholson. Graham from the University of Miami in Ohio. We're looking at a consensus All-American, first-team All-MAC Conference, MAC Special Teams Player of the Year. Also won the Groza Award. He was 25 of 27 on field goals last year, 35 of 37 on extra points was Graham Nicholson. So I look at him as an impact player. Now, of course, we as Alabama consumers, we want you making your field goals from inside 40 yards, from 40 yards and in, right? Because that's your scholarship. Your scholarship is from 40 yards and in. Now, if you out there got a leg busting it from 50 plus, hey, that's just gravy. That's more than love. We will take that. Bless Jesus. We'll rock with it. Absolutely. But your scholarship is consistently hitting 40 yards and in and also extra points. So, but those would be the 5 transfers that I would have. Parker Brailsford, center. Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver. Keon Saab, defensive back, primarily free safety. Damani Jackson, cornerback. Graham Nicholson, place kicker. My 5 transfers that can make the biggest impact for Alabama in this upcoming season, starting off with fall camp. Definitely want your thoughts on who your transfers are that can make the biggest impact. We're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dab. When we get back, we go to the comment section. We grab your comments this evening. But first off, let's get our first word from our partners at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. You know what time it is, baby. You get that gear. Alumni Hall are great partners with Touchdown Alabama magazine. Alumni Hall in T-Town, Midtown Village. Get all of that gear. We're back to the action from the break, taking your comments right here. And we got a lot of them. Let's see. Which one do we start with? We'll start right here with my man Joseph Higginbottom, who writes in, I smell a national championship roll, Tide roll. Joseph, you and a lot of the Bama family look at this team as a championship team. You have a lot of people out there criminally undervaluing Alabama, criminally underrating Alabama. But hey, let them sleep on this team. Let them sleep on this team. You go back to 2009. They slept on Bama, was a national championship. They slept on Bama 2011, national championship. They slept on Bama 2015, national championship. Slept on Bama 2017, national championship. So what does that mean? When you undervalue the Crimson Tide, this is when Alabama plays its best football. So let them continue to just sleep there. Denzel Rambo writes in, the 4-2-5 is the new era. That is what Kane Womack, defensive coordinator, has brought to Tuscaloosa. My main thing is going to be the pass rush, the stopping the run up front, but most importantly, the ability to consistently create turnovers and score off those turnovers. This was something that the last few years of the Nick Saban era, Coach Saban was getting bothered by, was the defense not being able to force the turnovers that we grew accustomed to seeing Alabama do. So for Kane Womack, it's forcing those turnovers and getting your offense in a short field. Let's see. Damon Davis writes in, just imagine Saban's defense with DeBoer's offense. I mean, it's crazy, right? Imagine Saban's defense with DeBoer's offense. Well, you got Saban players, Damon Davis, but you got Kane Womack coaching them. So it's like Saban's defense, but a little bit different because it's the 4-2-5, but it's still the players that Coach Saban has recruited, or Coach Saban did recruit and brought into the program, but they're now being coached by Kane Womack. Let's see here. Don Parker writes in, here we go. I, for one, do not believe in dropping the standard. So long as this team plays to the standard in every snap of every game, Alabama will have success one game at a time. That's the big thing. You take it one game at a time. You take it one game at a time. Smooth writes in, he went 9-3 at Fresno, so the math is not mathing. So in the college football playoff, Smooth, you got 12 teams that are going in now. So to me, I look at this. Honestly, you don't want to lose any game. You would want to run the table undefeated. But with how tough these schedules are going to be, that's going to be difficult. Not saying Alabama can't do it, it very well can, but it's going to be difficult, right? So you could see Alabama 11-1 get into the playoff. You could see Alabama 10-2 get into the playoff. There could be a situation where Alabama's 9-3 and makes the playoff. Hopefully, the 9-3 scenario does not happen, but there could be a scenario where Alabama's 9-3 and make the playoff. Mike G writes in, our center last year was a weak link. Seth McLaughlin could block, but the snaps were bad. The snaps were bad. The snaps cost Alabama games against Texas and Michigan. And could have been more, but Texas and Michigan. So to have Parker Brailsford in here, he will do much better there handling those snaps. Roll Tide and Rise Up writes in, I hear Caleb Cunningham decided not to go to the Auburn cookout this weekend. Instead, he will be in Tuscaloosa. Caleb Cunningham, the 5-star wide receiver, is 10 toes down on Bama. He's mentioned that. He's talked about that. He wants no dealings with Auburn. He wants no dealings with Auburn whatsoever. He's coming down to be a part here of the Crimson Tide. Smooth writes back in, I'm not sure if enough people are talking about LT Overton. Overton, the transfer from A&M, he's good too. And he's going to have a role on this defensive line, whether he's playing the bandit end spot, which he's going to have to be. He's going to be a defensive end. I like Overton's got experience coming from A&M. I definitely want to see what he does, whether he's a starter, whether he's a quality rotation piece. Going back to this defensive line and Freddie Roach, I want a full rotation. Get everybody out on the field. Get everybody reps. Get everybody playing time, because you need your guys all to have experience, because you never know this year in this playoff who you're going to depend on, who you are going to need. So getting everybody reps. Let's see. Roll Tide and Rise Up says, I really wonder about Seth. He went downhill last season. It's weird because 2021, he was dominant, right? He was handling Jordan Davis of Georgia. he had earned he had earned the recognition from you, the fans, as the most scrappy, tough, physical offensive lineman. And then 2 years later, it goes from that to issues snapping the ball. So I could never quite put my finger on what happened, what went wrong, what caused him to go downhill there. But he is now at Ohio State. We got Damon Davis writes in, just want Milroe to make better decisions, and I know he will. Milroe for Heisman, which would give us number 5. Want Jalen Milroe to have a monster year, especially in the passing game, completing that high percentage throw. He's a phenomenal athlete. Deep ball accuracy is there. Just want him completing that high percentage throw. He does that, he's definitely going to be heading to New York for the Heisman Trophy. Mimi S. writes in, Jeremy Bernard, keep your eye on him. Like this kid as a wide receiver, transferring here from Washington. Excited to see what he does in this offense. Kareem Hood 40 writes in, Stephen M. Smith, what's good? And roll tide to everyone. Roll tide to you, Kareem. I'm doing awesome, man. Happy that you in here. I'm doing awesome. Just bringing you guys, the Alabama fans, this show from the home location on this evening. Keith Williams writes in, just wanted to say, roll tide, roll, about to get some dinner. Keith, enjoy that meal, man. Roll tide to you as well. Enjoy that meal. Let's see some more comments here in the comment area. Mike G writes in, I feel good about Bama's wide receiver core. Look, this is a talented group. Now, if you let national media spin the narrative, national media would say Alabama got nobody to throw the ball to. But if you look at this room objectively, it's a talented room. Kobe Prentice is talented. Jeremy Bernard is talented. Emmanuel Henderson talented. Cole Adams talented. Ryan Williams. You got some talented guys in this room. You got some real ballers in this room. It's just who's going to be the guys to step up and captivate our attention? Who's going to be the guys to do that? But you got real ballers in this room. Don Parker writes in regards to transfers, do not sleep on Geno Vandermark, very versatile lineman that they may not be able to keep off the field, but we shall see. Geno Vandermark coming over from Michigan State. Keep in mind, guess who coached Geno at Michigan State? Chris Kapovich, Alabama's O-line coach, and Alabama's O-line coach now. So Chris Kapovich already has experience working with Geno. So I wouldn't sleep on Geno. I would not be surprised if Bama opens fall camp and Geno goes out there making plays. So good point made up by you, my man Don Parker. Damon Davis writes in, I still want to add Jeremy Pruitt. What about you, Stephen M? Pruitt, at some point, I would like to see Pruitt come back to Alabama. I don't know. Will it happen? But I would like to see Pruitt at some point. But will it happen? We're going to have to see. We got Coach Juan writes in, I'm back, and Crimson Tide football is back. Hashtag Bama fan, Blitz, Bama Blitz. He's talking Keon Keeley, Keanu Coote, Jihad Campbell. All need to be on the field at the same time. Hey, there you go. Kane Womack. Coach Juan got a pressure package for you. He says have Keon Keeley, Keanu Coote, and Jihad Campbell all on the field at the same time. So there you go, Kane Womack. You got yourself a pressure package right there. We got Kareem Hood 40. From what I saw, Bernard is aggressive, and that's what we like. Need more of it from all the wide receivers. I believe it happens. Jerm is aggressive. Very good blocker. He can catch with physicality. He can run routes. He's got speed. Very good blocker. Tough as nails. That's what you need to have. That's the type of guy you need to have. Jeremy Bernard is that type of playmaker. Mike G writes back in, I think Saab will be solid, but not elite. I think Saab will be good. I think Saab will be good. Now, you still have different guys that can play safety. You could slide Red Morgan at safety. You could do that. You could slide Brayson Hubbard at safety. You can do that. I mean, there's other guys back there that can play that safety spot, but I think Saab's experience from a national championship team really bodes well for him. But appreciate all of you guys. We got Monica Petaway. What's up, Bama Nation? Monica, happy to have you in here. Checking out the show on a Wednesday. You guys are riding it. You guys are riding in. You guys are riding in. You guys are riding in. We got D-Money. Who's your starting wide receivers? Let's see, my starting wide receivers, I would have Germ in there. I would have K-Law in there. I would have Prentice in there. I would have Germ, K-Law, and then Prentice alternating with Ryan Williams. That's how I would have it. Germ, K-Law, and Prentice alternating with Ryan Williams. Now, that could change, but that's what I have right now. Let's see, Monica Petaway writes in, Roll Tide, everyone. My fault for being MIA, been having a hectic schedule with church and sports activities. Monica, it's okay. You're in here right now. That's all that matters. You're in here right now. You're involved in the chat. I appreciate it. We appreciate it here as a family. It is all right. You are in here. You are involved in the chat. My God, Plow Jogger with all of the elephants in here. Roll Tide, Plow in here. Appreciate Plow helping us out on the show. Let's see here. We got Coach Warren, number one starting swarm, X-Clan defense. Keeley, Tim Keenan, Overton, Coate, Lawson, Campbell, Jackson, Brown, Smith, Moore, and Saab. So Coach Warren got his lineup. So Coach Warren starting defense, he would have Keon Keeley, Tim Keenan, LT Overton, Keanu Coate. Okay, those means kind of his four down with Keanu Coate as that wolf backer. Then he's got Lawson and Campbell as the two inside linebackers. He's got Damani Jackson and Xavier Brown as the two corners. He's got Devontae Smith, that's the Husky. And he's got Moore and Keon Saab as both safeties. Okay, Coach Warren. So Coach Warren, hey, Kane Womack, if you're listening, Kane Womack, Coach Warren's got the starting defense for you right here. He's got the starting defense for you right here. Don Parker writes in, I'm not 100% sold on Parker Brailsford. If Brockermeyer doesn't leave, he would be the guy at center. More reasons to not sleep on Vandermark. James Brockermeyer did look real good at center in spring football. And I still do not understand why he left. I still kind of don't get that. I mean, James Brockermeyer did very well all spring at that center position. And then he just up and left to go to TCU, which I still am kind of like, still kind of puzzled by that, but it is what it is. But good point there by Don Parker and saying that you still don't sleep on Geno Vandermark. Let's see here. JDog67 writes in, we are going to be just fine. Saban left LSU, and they are still good 20 years later. That's J-Dog. You see that, J-Dog? Say that again, J-Dog, because I don't understand why these national prognosticators are saying he ain't Saban, DeBoer ain't Saban, Saban ain't there no more. So without Saban, it ain't gonna be good for Alabama. Saban left LSU. LSU still won a national championship. What? No, 7. LSU is still good even without Saban. Alabama is going to be fine. Better than fine. Much better than fine. So thank you, J-Dog, for writing that in there. Thank you. Thank you. Monica Petaway writes in, I hope when they play a team that they blow out the water, they don't show their cards in one game. I mean, I think, Monica, Alabama is going to hold its hand until that week 4 matchup against Georgia after the bye week. I think the first 2 games, you're not going to see Alabama pull out much, but then that fourth game, that's when you'll see it. Jay Lee writes in, 20 years from now, Steven will be the new Paul Feinbaum of the SEC. Jay, you're too kind, man. You are way too kind, Jay. You are way too kind, my man. But I appreciate it. I wonder if Paul will give me the seat. I wonder. You know what? That is something we can revisit. Will Paul give me that seat? Plow Jogger writes in. Not talked about much is how important it will be for KD to make the right in-game adjustments, hopes, and prayers. That'll be important. Plow's correct. Making the right adjustments when you need a spark, when you need to change some stuff, when you need to create the right kind of momentum, having those in-game adjustments and the right ones, that's going to be very important for Kagan DeBoer. I agree with that. Jeremiah Walker writes in, Roll Tide Roll. Steven, when do you think Bama will build a pipeline in Pittsburgh? Broadway Joe and Cam Foster came from here. I think Robert Foster's what you mean. Robert Foster came from here. Now the kicker, Pete. There is a running back who's a monster, but going to Penn State. You know, Alabama could build a pipeline to Pittsburgh. It could build a pipeline to Pennsylvania. It needs to get more guys from Pennsylvania. Keep in mind, Bama got a receiver in this recent class from Pennsylvania, Rico Scott. They went to get Rico Scott out of Pennsylvania as well. So every now and again, Alabama was able to pluck one from Pennsylvania. So hopefully, as we continue, the cold summer recruiting, Coach DeBoer and Courtney Morgan will dive up to that Pittsburgh area and plug some guys. Yeah, that'll be a good idea there. We got Jeremy Matthews. Hold on. We got Jeremy Matthews writing in, Devontae Smith and D-Law. Looking forward to seeing both of those guys step up this season and have marquee production for the Crimson Tide. Appreciate all of you guys getting your thoughts. And we got Carrie Good. Carrie Good writes in, Roll Tide SMS. Appreciate you, Carrie Good, helping us out here on the show. And so I know I saw some in here. There it is. My guy, Plow Jogger, with that $5 donation. Dropping the love in here. Appreciate Plow Jogger. Is there any coach or assistant who looks out of place? No one looks out of place right now. I think everybody is in the proper place. Now, I would say this. I would have loved for Alabama to have kept Sal Sunseri and put Sal Sunseri as the defensive line coach and have Freddie Roach coaching outside linebackers. But, I mean, no one's out of place. Everybody is right where they need to be at. Let's see. Damon Davis writes back in. I want to see more utilization of the tight end group. Can we get a tight end with 1,000 yards or at least close to it? Now, Damon Davis, you are talking on something that I wrote an article on earlier today. Kagan DeBoer, throughout his coaching career, has utilized the tight end position, whether he was at Southern Illinois or Eastern Michigan or Fresno State or Indiana or Washington. Kagan DeBoer utilized heavily the tight end room. So I think he is going to get that group going. He's going to really get that group going because when that group gets going, Bama's dangerous. When that tight end group gets going, Bama football is dangerous. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to continue here. We're going to get to topic number 2 of the conversation here on the show. And so topic 2 here, we're going to look at the second-year players for Alabama that will take a huge jump in the upcoming season, starting off with fall camps. These are your year 2 guys. So we're talking true sophomores, redshirt freshmen, your year 2 guys, your guys that came in the 2023 signing class. And starting this thing off, Justice Haynes. He's going to have a monster year. Justice Haynes, we saw him last season, former 5-star out of Beaufort, Georgia, 25 carries, 168 yards, 3 touchdowns, had some really strong runs against Michigan in the Rose Bowl. But I think this season, Justice is about to pop off this bag. He's about to pop this top off. He's going to have a very big season. And it starts off with fall camp because he's going to be running behind a much improved offensive line. We already know he can create a hole even when a hole is not there. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got contact balance. He can catch the ball out the backfield, so there is versatility there. The guy can play. It is hard to bring him down with one guy. It is difficult, painstakingly difficult to bring him down with one guy. So I like Justice Haynes. He's the number one guy, second-year player to keep your eye on. Number two, in terms of second-year players to watch, I'm going to go on the defensive side of the football, and I'm going to go Keon Keeley here. This is a big season for Keon Keeley, a big camp for Keeley. And the reason why I say that is Freddie Roach this past spring talked about, we got to turn this big man loose and let him get after the quarterback. Whether he's doing that from the wolf backer position, whether he's doing it from the four-eye bandit defensive end position, it really doesn't matter. You got to have Keon Keeley on the field in some way, shape, form, or capacity. The speed, the rush ability, the twitchiness, the athleticism, the upside, you got to have Keon Keeley in some way, shape, or form on the field. He's number two for me. Just as important as Keeley, when you talk, second-year players, you got to look at James Smith, bully from Carver High School in Montgomery, defensive lineman, 6'3", 296 pounds, twitchy in spring ball, can stuff the run, can get after the quarterback, want to hit somebody in their face. You got to put James Smith out there. You got to. You got to see this talent that you had from the 2023 class flourish. I think you got to put James Smith on the field. Second-year player, he needs to be out there. That's number three. Number four, for me, I'm going to go Wilkin Formby on the offensive line, right? People are excited for Caden Proctor to be back, and I'm happy Caden Proctor's back as well. But Wilkin Formby, former four-star in the 2023 class, 6'7", 320 pounds from Northridge High School in Tuscaloosa. This was arguably the most technically sound offensive tackle in the class. And all spring it was, when Formby's out here, he gives you your best in pass pro. He gives you your best offensive line set, right? So I think Wilkin Formby on the offensive line, primarily at right tackle, is going to have a big jump here in year two. And then last but not least, I'm going to go wide receiver Cole Adams. I know what you're thinking. What? Yeah, Cole Adams. This dude from Oklahoma, world-class track athlete, really good football player in high school. This guy in spring ball, especially the A-Day game, caught my attention. He made several big catches. Yes, he got popped. He took some hits, but he made several big catches in the spring game. And according to Jamarcus Shepard, he's emerged. He stepped all the way up. He's come alive here in this offense. So keep your eyes on one Cole Adams in the upcoming season, starting off here in fall camp. Those be my 5 second-year players in Justice Haynes, in Keon Keeley, James Smith, in Wilkin Formby, and then, of course, Cole Adams. But we're going to go to another break right here, folks. When we get back, we get into more of your comments, more of your thoughts, more of your conversations. But right now, another word from our guys at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. You know it, baby. Alumni Hall, our outstanding partners right there. Touchdown, Alabama Magazine. You get all that gear. Alumni Hall, we appreciate all of them. But here we go. We're going to get back into the comment section, getting your thoughts here on the show. Let's see here. Plow Jogger writes in, if Steven could get some of our cheerleaders to come on in lingerie, he would get a lot more views, just saying. Okay, so we gotta get cheerleaders on the show. So Plow says cheerleaders on the show. And then I know Damon Davis said, got to get Coach DeBoer on the show. I'm working on Coach DeBoer. But Plow, cheerleaders, you know what? We got to put that in motion now, Plow. We got to put that in motion now. Don Parker with a $5 donation, DP in here, saying still Eric B for president in 2024. Only 80s hip-hop fans understand. Steven for vice president or the next fine bomb. Thank you, Steven. All right. Hey, Eric B for president. And so vice president for me for fine bomb, or vice president for me over next fine bomb. Appreciate you, Don Parker. Either or be good. Either or would be good here. But we're going to look at Coach DeBoer here, Damon Davis. We're going to look at that. Let's see. Don Parker writes back in, I really want to see Keeley step up and be dominant. And yes, let the Montgomery boys eat, please. I'm ready for Keeley. I'm ready for Smith and Russo. I'm ready for this Alabama defense. I'm just ready for some turnovers to be created, man. Because the 5 years that we had with the other coordinator prior to Kevin Steele and now Ken Womack, Bama can't get no turnovers. We got to get back to taking the ball away every time and then scoring off of those turnovers. I can't lie, man. I miss 2015 non-offensive touchdowns. I miss 2016 and all those non-offensive touchdowns. I miss 2017 and those non-offensive touchdowns. So we got to get back to doing that. Let's see here. We got Jeremy Matthews writes in, I hope to see what the O-line is going to do. Joe Moore Award and Tyler Booker is the best O-lineman in college football. Booker is that dude. Of his offensive line, has the pieces to win the Joe Moore Award. But it comes always back to the execution on the field. Can they execute on the field at a high level, doing it together? It's going to be the main thing. Don Parker writes in, Proctor at center would be interesting, but he's physically built to play tackle. If considering moving Proctor to right tackle, I'm considering moving Proctor to right tackle and Booker to left tackle. That would be intriguing, Don, because Booker, even though he's a guard, he's got a tackle frame. So, and he played tackle in high school. So if you were to move Booker to left tackle, Proctor to right tackle, would you have Roberts as a guard and put Geno Vanmark as the other guard? Don Park, would you do that? Would you have Roberts as one guard and Geno Vandermark the other guard? I mean, I could see that. I could see that. Jeremy Matthews writes in, Stephen M. and Marvin Constant for president and VP, and Steve Brown for secretary of defense. Look, Steve Brown would have everybody getting through. All they got to do is say, hey, I'm his cousin. Steve would have everybody getting through. All they got to do is give Steve a pair of Stacey Adams and tell Steve he their cousin, and they didn't got through. Steve, man, I love Steve, but Steve would have everybody getting through, man. I mean, everybody getting through. Christian Hughes writes in, Roll Tide, Stephen M. Are the pants popping today? No, that would be next Wednesday, Christian. You're a week too early. Next Wednesday, Christian. Next Wednesday. the past we pop. I love the excitement, though, Christian. I love the energy. I love the excitement. But that is next Wednesday, the 30th, Christian. Not the 31st, Christian, 31st. Next Wednesday, 31st, would be the first day of fall camp. But love the energy. Let's see here. John Parker writes in, Steven would get ER done. Man, no. Man. Hey, Don, hey. Can't be sitting here slipping, man. Can't be sitting here slipping out here. Can't do it. You right, Don. Can't do it. Monica Petaway writes in, I'm ready to see some new faces make some noise. It's exciting time. You got a lot of young athletes ready to make some noise, ready to dominate on the field. Gonna be fun. I'm ready to see Ryan Williams make some noise. I'm ready to see Red Morgan make some noise. I'm ready to see a lot of these young faces go out there and show the college football world what they're about here for Alabama football. Damon Davis writes in, Stephen M. Smith, not Stephen A. Smith. Appreciate that, Damon Davis. Appreciate that, as I've always have said. If ESPN can one time do this for me, make one mistake with the middle initial, right? Let me get one of those paychecks of his. That's all I need. Just one. Have one mistake with the middle initial and just send me one of those paychecks. That's all I need. Monica Petaway writes back in, time for Malachi Moore to really show out. He's going to have a big year. I'm excited for him. He can have literally a All-American Jim Thorpe type of season. I'm excited for Malachi. Malachi's going to have a nice year. Really good year. Let's see here. Jason Haywood dropping that $5 donation to chat there. Let's go, Jason. He says, I believe we hit the jackpot with Coach DeBoer. We are going to surprise some folks this year. I agree with that, Jason. So here's Don Parker's list of offensive linemen. Okay, Don, I see you right here. So, Don, you would have Proctor at right tackle, Joseph Ayanat at right guard. Okay. Center, Gino Vandermark. Left guard, Jaden Roberts. Left tackle, Tyler Booker. Okay, Don. Okay. That's a good line. That's a physical line. I would take that. Plow Jogger writes in, I agree, Jason. Saban made a great choice. He did. Saban made a great choice. Greg Byrne made an outstanding choice. So happy for both of those men to have Kagan DeBoer in here running the show now for the Crimson Tide. But quickly, folks, we'll get this one right here. Jeremy Matthews writes in, when we play Georgia, us and fans have to play a big part at Bryant-Denny. Absolutely. The players, the fans, everybody has got to have Bryant-Denny Stadium rocking and Nick Saban Field rocking when Georgia comes into Tuscaloosa on September the 28th after the bye week. Let's see. David Williams writes in, with all these high-quality guys coming in 25, who's going to see the field in year one? Let's see here. With all the high-quality guys coming into 2025, that's a good question, David. And that's one that – put a pin in that one, David. I'm going to definitely come back to that, though. That's a good question. Put a pin in that one because I definitely want to come back to answer that one. But we're going to get into right now quickly here. Topic 3 of a discussion tonight, and this is, why Alabama has no competition for backup quarterback. Well, it's because Ty Simpson's the man. Ty Simpson is the concrete backup quarterback. We saw this in the spring. He had the best spring game, statistics-wise, 7 of 12 passing, 102 yards, moving extremely well, doing some things that made him special in high school as a former 5-star from Martin, Tennessee in the 2022 class. Simpson mentioned that, he wants to help Kagan DeBoer win a national championship here with the Crimson Tide. And Simpson's one of those guys that when Nick Saban retired, he could have easily said, I'm going to hop in the transfer portal. Did not do that. Remained in Tuscaloosa. has worked his tail off the whole offseason, has been with different trainers, been with different private coaches, continues to work with QB Country. Really like what Ty Simpson's been doing. Really like what Ty's been doing. So to me, as talented as Dylan Larnigan is, and he is, and as talented as as talented as Austin Mack is, and he is, Mack is still a little bit raw. Dylan Larnigan, good, but I look at Ty Simpson, the mental clock is sharper. The passing mechanics have gotten even sharper. He gained experience last year, 6 games a season ago. Got out there against South Florida where it was just awful for much of that game, tying a Buckner out there. And then Ty Simpson takes the field, takes you on, a couple of scoring drives, helps you at your worst get out of there winning 17-3 against the Bulls. So to me, there is no competition. Ty Simpson's the guy. Ty's the backup quarterback. And God forbid anything happen to Milroe. I don't see anything, or I don't foresee anything happening to Milroe. But if something were to happen, I have nothing but the utmost confidence in Simpson to go out there, execute the offense, run the plays, get the job done, have success out there on the field for the Crimson Tide. But as always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, material on your favorite program, that is the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered, people. If a good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'm telling you, I will do my best to be back here. Hopefully the weather's good. Be back in studio in the Birmingham area to talk more Bama football on Friday. Bama Nation, as always, you subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Get that subscription, touchdownalabama.com, because fall camp is next week, and we want you having everything in the palm of your hands. Get on that, touchdownalabama.com. Get you that subscription. Subscribe to TDA Plus, our video hub, to where we're providing to you practice video. We're providing for you all types of clips and coverage here of fall camp, getting into the upcoming college football season. But shouting out to all of you guys, the fans, for the love, for the appreciation, for checking out the show. I want to thank all of you. Until Friday, folks, have a great evening. You've been listening to In My Own Words.